So the way I've been using EdPuzzle is for that flipped classroom design. So the kids are still watching videos for homework, and the idea is that they get the content before we do stuff in class so that we can, deep dive in class without having to cover content in class. Of course, there's time in class to answer questions. I have questions embedded in all the EdPuzzles, so I kind of have an idea of what the kids are having a hard time with, if I have time to kind of check on that before class. So I don't use EdPuzzle during class.
Right.
It's like an outside of class thing. And so a lot of it has been content. Some of it has been like, here is some extra stuff that you might be interested in. Like, you don't have to watch it. I'm not going to grade it, but it's here as a resource for you. The other way that I've used EdPuzzle is working through math problems.
So kind of using it as like your virtual whiteboard and being like, here's me doing it, so you guys have it now forever and ever.
Yes, but it's been outside of class. So it's like, hey, here are some problems to work on. If you're still having trouble, here's a video of me working through each type of problem, and you can watch that video on your own time. I've been making all my EdPuzzle videos using Doceri.
Yeah, so that's
popping up slides on my computer, using Doceri to write all over them and that kind of stuff.
How long have you been using EdPuzzle?
So I've been using it for 2 years at this point. There are a bunch of videos on EdPuzzle, like in their video bank, that other people have already like embedded questions in. And so they use a lot of those. And for the most part, they seem to work well. I have heard them say sometimes like, the answer is wrong to one of the questions and the kids complain about it, that type of thing. It's immediate feedback with multiple choice questions, which is great.
I didn't know that. So it's when you do multiple choice, it's like, it'll tell you that this is the answer. So it'll kind of, okay.
Yeah, it will. They have the option to do like free response stuff, and then you can go in and give comments on all of that.
What's your workflow like?
So what I started with were like sets of PowerPoint lectures that I had and had been working with for a while. And what I ended up doing was going through them and modifying them so that they were like 5 or 6 slides, like all the information was there.
All the info condensed.
Yeah, and then I got rid of stuff that I didn't think was as important, because one of the things with flipping the classroom is that you can't cover as much material. You just can't.
Right.
But it provides an opportunity to go into depth in more material. Yeah, so it can take a couple different forms. They watch the video for homework, they come in, I can ask them, see if anyone has any questions. And when I first started doing that, I gave them a worksheet to kind of think about taking notes while they were watching the video. The students didn't seem to respond to that very well. They just thought that it was extra work for them. Some students really liked it because it like helped them gather their thoughts and have another way to kind of organize all the information. So I've always given that to students just as a, hey, see if this works for you. But one of the things on there was like, what questions do you still have? And then at the beginning of class, I would say, what questions do you have? What things are still confusing? And kids would say, well, I don't really understand this. And so I'd spend just a couple minutes going over it again. And then a lot of times the thing that they found confusing was the thing that we were doing an activity with during the day.
So you're like, we're going to figure that out today in class.
Exactly. My favorite part is that I can embed the questions and get an idea of what's confusing to them and what's not. For them, the best part of it is, there's 2 best parts. One is that they're not very long. And that's all I give them for homework. Average length is 11 minutes.
Gotcha.
So I don't make anything longer than 13 because it's just too much. So I got feedback on all of this like the first year that I did it. And one thing that they really liked were the multiple choice questions. They liked the immediate feedback on what they understood and what they didn't. They liked lots of questions in it.
Really?
Because they were telling me that they were even having a hard time like paying attention to a video for like 3 minutes in between questions. The other thing that the students really like is that they use them as study tools. And so they go back and watch the videos before the tests or before the quizzes to review stuff. The extended time kids really like it because you can take your time going through it. You can pause it and like write whatever you want and then continue. Extended time kids really like the fact that they can go at their own pace, whereas in like a traditional lecture in the classroom, like the teacher picks the pace. Yeah. So I only give my kids credit if they watch the whole thing.
100%. So
100%, and if they watch it before class starts.